Oh, I know. Good morning, everyone. I thought I'd quickly pop on and say hi. So we'll probably be quite disturbed by Fayla. It is currently morning time, so it's very much Fayla's due her first walk, really. But I thought I'd pop on while I quickly got ready and sort of quickly talk about my thoughts around Vlogmas. I had to be honest with myself that I was definitely never going to do what I think Laura will manage and upload every single day. And probably not even half of that. I just don't think my life is all that exciting, if I'm honest. Like I work from home, I walk Fayla, I train Fayla, I pet Fayla, then I knit a little bit, and that's sort of how my day goes. So I thought I'd start off with just saying hi and kind of saying, you know, don't expect loads of these, but I thought I'd give a little glimpse into my life because I do kind of like that idea that maybe, you know, usually you don't actually see that much of my day-to-day life, and I thought today would be maybe a day that could be a little bit interesting. So the plans for today are that Fayla, who's currently eating, I think, some cardboard, I need to sort that. The plan is that I'm about to take Fayla on a walk before I sit down in the home office. She definitely needs a walk every single morning, or she just is an absolute nightmare. If you're not aware, Fayla is my... Oh, there we go. It's my almost 6 month, I think tomorrow she'll be officially 6 months old puppy. She is being half border collie and half Labrador, quite an active little soul. So there's not many quiet moments around my working time. Also today we are at lunchtime, hopefully, going to be able to meet with Fayla's litter mate who lives really close to us, and the plan is for them to play. So since they were quite small, you can hear the protests of, you know, I've been awake for about an hour, mum, and we haven't still done anything majorly exciting. So since we met at about 10 weeks, they essentially played weekly, because tired puppies are happy puppies. And they just love each other so much. It's so funny. Fayla loves all dogs and people, but she can be a bit, she kind of sometimes needs to see what the situation is like for play. So sometimes, you know, she isn't like the dog that runs, well, she does have walks, but I think that's just because walks are exciting. But she's generally not a puppy that is like constantly up for play. So it's so lovely to have some doggy friends that she really gets on with. So that's part of the plan today. So there's going to be a lot of Fayla. So if you're not a dog person, these vlogs are probably not for you. I don't have any cute children to show, unfortunately. So you're going to have to live with my fur baby. Then I have to do some more work this afternoon, obviously, and then this evening, together with Rebecca from the Career Bear and Anastasia from Free Your Sheep, we're hosting another Zoom knit night. We hosted our first one probably about 2-3 weeks ago, and it was crazy how many people turned up, how many people was like really wanting to join, and kind of what came out, or like what was quite evident to me, was that lots of people were like, oh, I don't have any knitting friends. And I think the wonderful thing about knitting as a hobby is that it's brilliant when shared. You know, it's just one of those hobbies that just is so good when when you have other people to talk about it with and to share. So also going to do that today. And that's sort of what's on the plan for this Thursday. I should also say that I'm filming this, obviously, but I don't know when my partner will be back, and I know my partner has much more desire for privacy from social media than me, which I obviously respect. I think it's only fair that not everyone is like, yeah, just put my whole life on social media. So if he does come home, he probably will not really be seen or shown. And I should just mention that it's not that he doesn't exist, but just he's not as big a social media person as me. Can you hear the complaining in the background? This is what she's like all day. As much as I love her, we've very much hit like teenage stage. So right now patience is absolutely limited for her. She is not a fan of waiting. And I'm finding that she's sort of like, when she was a very tiny puppy, obviously the freaking nightmare, like Ben and I spoke about it yesterday, and we both agreed that from 8 till 12 weeks was really the hardest for us, just because they are incredibly full of energy, or at least Fayla was, but also they're quite bad nippers, and so essentially, and also they're not fully toilet trained, so you spend your time getting bitten essentially by a baby shark while constantly running inside and outside in the hopes that they don't accidentally have an accident inside. And then yeah, you try to tie out this puppy, try to get them to sleep, and at least Fayla has never really changed her view on sleep, which is that it's overrated. And then I feel like after we started going on walks and stuff, we did have a few weeks where it was like not too bad. So Fayla has now finished teething, which I think some people find really bad, but luckily wasn't too bad for us. It did cost quite a lot of like yak chews, cost all of her soft toys. If you see a basket behind me full of toys, it's because she essentially destroys them in about 2 minutes and pulls out the squeaker, which is obviously dangerous. So at the moment we've just accepted that soft toys are not on the list of approved toys. So yeah, teething wasn't too bad, but now that we're hitting 6 months, we're hitting the first sort of signs of adolescence or juvenile period, I think they call it, because she hasn't had her first heat yet. So signs again, like complete loss of attention, like they call it that, you know, owners would say they develop selective hearing, but in actuality it's just, you know, the attention span significantly shortens, and it's a period of their life where they will require like probably the most amount of constant like stimulation and attention, because they will get bored, and a bored dog is a destructive dog. So yeah, my life at the moment is very much about trying to balance that, but I obviously do love it. Like at the moment it's getting really cold, actually. There's like frost all outside. We had a first snow, which is ridiculous. We usually never get snowed this early in Scotland, or in Denmark for that matter. But yeah, well, there was a part of Denmark yesterday that was like snowed in. I saw someone post a story that, I think it was Marie from by Bastrop, that there's an IKEA shop where people were literally snowed in overnight, which never happened. People are often surprised when I say like they expect Denmark to be like Norway and Sweden and like full of beautiful big mountains, but it actually really isn't. It's quite flat, and we're quite like, the weather's about the same as the UK, so not overly hot summers and not overly cold winters, but definitely all 4 seasons. But yeah, so it's getting really cold, and I'm really glad that I have Fayla to drag drag me out. Yesterday I went to CrossFit for the first time in a long time. I really love CrossFit. For me, it kind of combines like all the different kinds of exercise, and it's like one neat package, and I really like that. However, I'm feeling it today. I'm very sore. I haven't recently been doing as well as I sometimes have. I've really just had been really overwhelmed by everything. So another reason that I didn't like want to commit to Vlogmas was that I was like, I don't think, like, I think I'm too close to like a burnout to commit to this. But one step is I needed to start exercising again, really, for my own sake. So obviously I take Fayla for walks every day. So yeah, I did that yesterday. It was very good for me, but I'm very sore. I am very thankful though that I have Fayla to always keep me active and keep me going, because it is definitely needed. My mum and sister visited last weekend, and I haven't seen them for a year and a half. So it was incredible to see them, and we just had the nicest time. We went to Glasgow and had afternoon tea at the Macintosh, one of the Macintosh places. He's a famous like Scottish artist. And then we did some shopping, some Christmas gifts shopping, and then we went to Livingston Outlet as well. And on the Sunday we just had a chill day in the house, where we just chilled. We took the dog for a long walk, as summoned. And what else did we do? Fayla got lots of cuddles. She loved my mum and sister. And on Monday morning, because they left, like, the flight was at 7 on Sunday evening. And the next morning, oh, she broke my heart. She went looking for them. I had to be like, Fayla, they're not here. She went upstairs and like looked in the bathroom and looked like in the bedroom, and she was all like, where are they? So it was lovely to see them, and I am hoping that I will get to go home for some of Christmas. I will be spending the 25th here actually with Ben and Fayla, but I'm hoping before that to get some time at home. So yeah, that's sort of what my life is like at the moment. So it has just been, I can tell I've wanted or needed to take a step back a little bit from social media, because I just kind of was struggling so much with lots of other things that I was also really struggling to have the inspiration of what I wanted to make. I would have loved to film another podcast episode and have shown you that I've knitted like 3 pairs of socks and all of this, but I haven't. I will show you what I'm knitting on, but essentially I accepted a test knit, volunteered for test knit. I guess I technically volunteered for this one, and it's just been taking like, it will just take so much of my time. It's a dress, a roll neck dress, so obviously quite a big project. So I've mainly been sort of knitting on that. I'm almost done with my test knit for high knits, but because of, I basically was a bit unlucky with the yarn, I had to wait for longer than intended. So I essentially had 14 days to knit like at least most of the rest. So I'm kind of rush knitting a little bit, but that's okay too. I think at the moment I'm just in a place where monogamous knitting just suits me the best. I just find that most days by the time I sit down in the sofa, I'm so tired that I don't really have headspace to pick between lots of whips. So I'm just kind of embracing that, and apologies to Lissy about me being a bit of a slower tester here at the very end. but I will obviously finish the first sweater because I'm missing just the last few rows of fisherman's rib. Might knit on that this weekend. Fayla has started having one day in doggy daycare, speaking of adolescents, to just keep me sane. And she was in for a full day earlier this week, and I filmed some of my yarn stash, so I'll see what the footage is like. It's not like really beautifully set up or really fancy, but yeah, you can probably live with it. But it's just talking you through sort of my different plans for the yarn, so if it is any good I will probably insert it now so you can have a look, and I'll see you later. So I thought before I sort of show you my yarn stash, I would quickly show you the spare bedroom. That's where everything lives. We finally finished for my mum and sister coming here. It is very much still a work in progress, as you will see. But yeah, I'm going to flip you around and show you. So this is the very basic second bedroom. So we have a nice king size bed from IKEA with big drawers underneath. I'm hoping to convince Ben to let me add a dressing table over here, and then we have my wardrobes over here. These are from IKEA. It's the Pax wardrobes and they are amazing. And you can see me, and at the very top I'm just storing some more yarny goodness. I also have a nice basket of yarny things over on the headboard, if anyone is in doubt how dog crazy I am. These are not all my dog related books, but quite a few of them. And obviously a niffler, which Ben gave to me, and the Danish flag. Yarn storage has moved around for me a little bit, but it is currently living mainly in this drawer and another drawer like this. So this drawer is at least sort of meant to be for projects, so it's meant to contain like project quantity yarn. As you can tell, does quite a lot. So I'll see if I can't pop you up on a tripod so I can sit down and show you properly. Right, this is probably as good as I'm going to manage to get it. You can also enjoy my nicely knitted socks. So as I said, there's going to be a lot of rustling because, as you can tell, all my yarn is stored, if possible, in these bags from IKEA. I try my best to keep some sort of order in this, but as you can tell, it's really become messy. So I should probably tidy it, but I feel like this shows you more of a real look into what my stash looks like. So as I said, this drawer contains all my sweater quantities. I do have a second drawer which contains all of my like leftovers. So I thought I would show you. Right, so I probably don't have as much time to film this as I was hoping, but then maybe you don't need to see every single skein of yarn. I've also decided to screen record this on the side. This is, as you might be able to tell if I move it. Do you see this? This is my iPad, and on Ravelry I know it is inaccessible and there's issues with it, but I do find it really useful to keep all of my yarn in here. So I actually recently updated this so that it's fully up to date, and on Ravelry as well I do also have a queue. I might need to update a few projects as I kind of think of what it should all be, but as you can tell, there's quite a few projects on there already. And I do that so that I kind of know basically what projects I want to do based on the yarn in my stash, and it kind of helps me think of what the yarn should become. I don't always buy yarn for a particular project. Sometimes I buy, well, most of the time I just buy yarn in essentially a sweater quantity and then decide what it's going to become. So let's have a quick look. So we have some leftover merino here. Some of these yarns you will have seen, and I should also say add gifted. Some of this are yarn I have received for test knitting and have leftovers over. So this is some of it. This was actually stuff I pulled out to knit some of Laura's projects in. I think this double soft merino in Roy's could be really lovely. A leftover skein of alpaca too. so that's some of the leftover bits. We have one of my woolly stash acquisitions. It smells really sheepy down here. We have some of the combs and the big balls that I recently bought. Some, you might recognise this yarn as well. Bought this from Sakami. This is my Swift. So down here we have, these are all mohair and merino leftovers. Have a few more in here as well. So for these, Suri Alpaca, like hand-dyed ones, Suri Alpaca silk, baby Suri Alpaca and silk, yes, that are hand-dyed from Sakami. I plan to make a sweater, probably the day of sweater by Knit Flitter, holding it single. So I have a few of those. We have this, which is mohair royale, which is mohair and like a nylon. This used to be sold by Knit. I don't think she sells it anymore. It was very, very cheap, which is why I bought it. And I think I bought it to hold it with the Peruvian Highland wool that then turned into the Nord strand, and so I didn't need this. So I have, I think, 200 grams, so I need to think of what that's going to become. We have some more leftover alva here with all the belly bands from the Nord strand project. And now we're hitting the corners of what I probably, let me just turn the recording off, I don't think you need to see that, what I probably need to organise. So this was really beautiful hand-dyed yarn with a matching silk mohair that I bought with a gift card I received when I left my last job. We have some leftover Maxi VIP and some more Maxi VIP. I don't think there's any yarn hiding underneath there. This I bought for a Louvre sweater from Petite Knit that never became anything. We have this hand-dyed yarn from Sakami. How stunning is this colour? Which I would really love to find a second strand for. This is fingering weight, so it'd be sort of perfect sweater quantity for a full sweater. Really matches my nails, doesn't it? But I'd love to hear suggestions what you would like, what colour you'd hold this with. I'm kind of thinking like an in-betweeny purpley maroony, like aubergine type colour would be really nice. We have some summer yarns, so we have Drop Spell. I think this is meant to be silver, but in real life it's like a light green. Have some leftover skeins of soft silk mohair. I'm knitting for Olive, and some leftover merino I see. So this was actually gifted for me for testknit. And I think all of these like merino, again I received this for testknit. I think these combos I'm going to save and sort of save up and make into an aerial sweater by Petite Knit. Over here we have some Peruvian Highland wool and Telia combo. We have some Drops Kid Silk. We have some of the cones and all of this. Might just squeeze that down here. We have some Sanders Turn Lena. Again, summer yarns I never knitted up. Can you see a trend? We have more random skeins of yarn that needs organising. We have some Lana Gatto class, which I have a lot of balls off, and it's in my peacock sweater in this, but I still have some left. We have Anina and Filcolana Nina and Cumulus by Fibre Spates. That's a lace, Cumulus is a lace weight, and Anina is a superwash fingering weight merino from Filcolana. That's going to become a sweater, so this is a very dark grey and this is black. And almost sort of done with this straw, we have the hand-dyed Suri Alpaca silk in Fortuna from Sakami, which is going to be held with Lana Gatto feeling. And apologies, we're now over in the very far corner. Over here we have, this was sent to me from Knit Flitter for her to help with a strand of fingering weight. So this is from Botanical Yarns. It's the a really soft composition. It's 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk and 10% cashmere, an amazing grey. So I'm going to hold these together, and this is what it looks like round up. I'm going to hold these together for her early morning sweater, which I feel like might be a good winter project. And the final sweater quantity in here is Lang Yarns, who's a hand dyer. I don't know how much she's been dyeing recently, but I love this colour, which is called Meadow. And to hold with that, I have some camel water nut sole in like this light pink colour. So I think these are going to be held together, but I have also wondered if that could go. I think this might be too light, so that's sort of where I am with that. But yeah, really stunning combo. And that is sort of the biggest part of my yarn stash. Not shown here is some Pergun from Sandnes, and my sock yarns and my other miscellaneous skeins of yarn that are hidden everywhere. But I'm sure you all know that feeling. Hi! Are you just ready? What should we do, Fayla? What should we do? Hi! Hi, my baby. Hey. And she's just so cute. Oh, big stretch. Big stretch. Come on. That's us all ready to go. Okay, Fayla. Are you ready to go for a walk? Are you excited? I am wearing my school run hat because it is cold. I forgot to say that today I am wearing my peacock sweater from Lena Samsu. It's knitted in some of the softest yarn, but this peels like insanely. So I will just be leaving a trail of orange fluff all day, but it's nice and warm, and since we're not walking that far, I'm wearing a thick coat. I need some gloves, and then that's also ready to go. One of my purchases when my mum and sister was here is this amazing fanny pack, or bum bag I should say. I think that's the British version, that has like this little extra bag. For walks at the moment, to keep Fayla's attention, we are using cheese, which as you can tell she's quite excited by, and I need somewhere quite easy to store it, and I was finding actual bags aren't that great. And it has a nice little front pocket where I can have keys and my phone, and I can even put a clip on the front, so really practical purchase. It's from Primark, where I don't shop that often anymore, but I saw this and just knew it's perfect for dog walking. Right, Fayla, is it time to go? On a recommendation for a tea I bought last week. So I bought this Earl Grey fine tea with clementine in Sainsbury's. This is so lovely. It's like the perfect sort of Christmassy tea. Hopefully Fayla, who is over here, will be convinced it's nap time. What do you think, Fayla? Is it nap time? Also, yes, this is the sofa duvet, which we got thanks to Fayla. So I thought I would quickly show you downstairs. We recently got all of this storage over here, which is amazing. As you can tell, Fayla is very intrigued by who I'm talking to. We haven't done much in our downstairs loo. We didn't really make the choices for the house, but I love this subway tile. So yeah, this is our entryway. I really like these like hangy basket things. As you can tell, obviously now with Fayla we have a lot of dog related things and a lot of mud, so I've tidied a little bit, though it was pretty tidy for my family being here, but there is just mud everywhere. And we also hung up this mirror, which I really like. And then we have what we loved about this house was the sort of big open plan. So that's the stairs leading up. Over here there's loads of pictures of Ben and I, so I'll probably not show those. And then we have like a big open plan living room. Again, we didn't pick this kitchen. As you can tell, we also do recycling, so it's not the tidiest of rooms today, but I absolutely love the kitchen with the little cubby holes. I'm sure any Dane will recognise my little Danish ornaments. And then we have the big kitchen. One of our recent purchases when we redid the house was actually the bigger dining room table. So this is a dining room table from IKEA that extends really easily to 6 people. Also, my life is filled with black dog hairs. This radiator cover is another recent addition, which we're really happy about. This was actually a leaving present, so this is central Edinburgh. Leaving present for a job, I should say, back when I worked in Edinburgh. Again, more Kaiboisen. You're not Danish for nothing. These are our sofas. Obviously, when we have guests around, we don't have the sofa duvet out, but to be honest, it's just so practical. So I've kept it out for now. Earlier this week, we put up our Christmas tree, which we both absolutely love. So I'll show you a few of our ornaments. So Ben and I are very much the type of people who don't want like a very stylish, like one sort of theme tree. So we collect ornaments from different places. So this was one of the first ones. This is a bratwurst that we bought in Berlin on one of our trips. This very much looks like the Carpe that we drove in Berlin, which was an East German car. We also have some random ones that I have no good explanations for, like this one I bought in Tiger, which is essentially a duck with football boots and a crown. We have a Optimist here. These was they were a present for Ben. I love these with the little reindeer ones. I bought this last year as a joke of 2020 being the year of lots of wine. Again, Fayla keeps being really confused what's going on. She is not long awoken from a nap, so once I'm done filming all of this, I'll take her out in the garden, so she might not be too impressed with waiting. Then we have this beautiful tartan bauble. I bought this last year to sort of signify my first Scottish Christmas. Obviously, live in a very rainy place, had to have the umbrella. This ornament I bought because it looks like Fayla. Fayla actually has very white bits right here and like white bits on her tail. She doesn't have like the tip of her tail isn't white, just around here, which is such a strange thing to find. And she does have white paws, don't you? 4 white little paws. Then we have an ice cream machine for Ben's ice cream machine one year. We have some sushi and a soy bottle. We bought this beautiful donut one in Berlin as well because we had like donuts in central Berlin. Probably not very German, but there you go. So yeah, that's our Christmas tree this year. joined by Fayla, who is very sleepy after all that play. Obviously brought me a ball. Gotta have all the toys ready. I thought I'd quickly show you my current whip. It's in that stage. I've just tried to take some photos, but I thought I'd still sort of show you the current state of it. So as you can tell, I haven't gone that far yet. I started this on I think Monday, so it's only a few days of knitting. So as I said, I don't know if I've said, but in all circumstances this yarn was kindly gifted to me from Easy as Knit for test knitting. They are like a Danish company that really like a group of girls that really specialize in sort of beginner friendly patterns. When I asked, they also said they will be looking to translate quite a few of them to English. So this is going to be like a turtleneck dress, and then it's going to have obviously picked up sleeves. So currently I just need to finish knitting. I joined the front pieces yesterday, so I just need to finish knitting the front pieces together, or finish the front piece, and then I'll join these two in the round. So this is knitted in broken rib stitch, and I've never knitted a broken rib stitch before. I think that's the name of it. So you have one row, so the right side, you knit all the way across, and then on the wrong side you knit purl, knit purl, knit purl, which kind of gives sort of that one line of like a knit stitch. And then obviously here you have like a purl pump knit stitch, purl pump knit stitch kind of thing, and it gives, I don't know if it's actually knit purl. I'm not that good at identifying textures, so I hope you kind of get the gist of it anyway. So I actually think that the wrong side is quite nice. I can't believe I've never seen any patterns in this. I don't know if I made a mistake here, that looks a bit wrong. Anywho, so this is currently what I'm trying to knit. It has a deadline of the 14th of December, which I probably won't finish the whole dress, but I'm hoping to finish quite a lot. I am knitting it in a yarn that I haven't tried before, which is Drops Nepal. So I'll just show you here. So it has 17 stitches to 22 rows for 5mm needles, and one light ball of yarn, only around 75 meters, and it's 65% wool and 35% alpaca. I picked this is the color medium grey mix, which is it's not really mild. Also apologies, my nails need redone, but I'm waiting till it's close to going home so that I don't have to worry about redoing them. So I do apologise for the growth, but I'm sure you can see the yarn anyway, so you can sort of see how it has a tiny bit of multicolour to it, which I think just looks really nice. Oh, that's nice, Fayla. Gotta get some cleaning in. So yeah, so far I've been really surprised how quickly it grows. The original pattern recommended 5mm needles, but I didn't meet gauge, and I actually didn't meet gauge. I was too tight on 5.5, but after speaking to them, we both agreed that like this has next level stretch. It's almost like knitting and ribbing, so once I wear it I presume it will grow, and I especially was nervous that no matter how big, I don't know if my swatch is in here, like no matter how small you make your, or how big you make your swatch, it will never be the same as like the full weight of the garment. So I have a feeling that I'm also terrified that I'm going to look and find more mistakes. I think that once it gets washed and you have the whole weight, it will really weigh down the final jumper. Also, please enjoy this little maniac chewing the ball. So currently this is getting most of my attention, and then I hope to get back to the first sweater. So I'd also quickly show you now that we are in here. It's a bit hard to see in the light, and I now have muddy poppy paws as well on me, but I thought I'd just quickly give a shout out to these new jeans I bought. When they're not covered in muddy poppy paws, They're just really comfy. They're from Marks and Spencer's, and it's the boyfriend fit. And I hate finding jeans in general, but I really like how they're like for my body shape, I find if it's supposed to be loose further down, it tends to be way too big up here, but I think this kind of has that like casual mum look, and these actually suits me better than the Marks and Spencer's mum jeans that I also tried. And what I quite like is that my belly button is right here, so you don't get like, you know, they're not tight. And obviously as I take the dog for walks all the time, comfort is key, but it's also nice to be nicely dressed, so I thought I'd show that. And you can see the peacock sweater here properly. Right, I think it's time to let this little rascal sleep. I think she's tired. So I never ended up taking any footage of knit night last night. Basically, I just kind of felt like it's hard to know if people would consent to have the video taken, so I decided just to enjoy myself and have a nice time. I thought I would round off this first episode by quickly talking a little bit about knit night, in case any of you that has actually stuck through essentially only Fayla content are still here and listening. So knit night is organised by me, Rebecca from the Carpe, and Anastasia from Free Your Sheep. It works by you, when we basically post a date, you just message us and we'll give you the Zoom link. This is just for security reasons, so there aren't, you know, that we don't have like open Zoom links out to the whole world. The last two times we have had an introduction for everyone, and then we have split people into breakout rooms. I think last night we were 50 people, the first time we were 40. And I think if we're any more than 50 people, I think we're too many to have like a big room introduction. So we'll probably just split people into breakout rooms. But that means that you get to sit with a little group of people that you can interact with. Last time I also allowed, or this time I also allowed for people to move around rooms. So if you, like me, are someone who can stay up all night talking about knitting, you can move to another room and join another conversation. I thought it was important to say that we literally have, I should let Fayla, just give me a second. So, as I was saying, when my papa said I've been outside long enough, we have people of literally all ages joining us. We have high school students, we have retired people, and so you will definitely find someone your age. Yesterday we had people, quite a lot of UK and Europe based people, quite a big sort of sub number of Dutch people actually, which is quite interesting. And then we had someone joining us from Australia at 6:30 in the morning Australian time. Oh, I know, Fayla, we'll do some fun in a minute. And then we also had quite a few from America, someone from South Africa, and someone from South America. What's wrong with you? This is my life, isn't it? So anyway, just to say, we will certainly be organising more, and we'd love to have you join you. And I think, considering how many people came back last night, I think it's fair to say that it was really, really popular. So I'm going to finish off this vlog because, as you can tell, Fayla, do you want to come say bye? Hi! As you can tell, this little one is in desperate need of attention, aren't you? Yeah, it's pure neglect in this house, as you can tell. So I hope you very much enjoyed it. If you have any feedback, just leave it down below. Next week, so I'm hoping to get one up a week. Sorry, I'll let her outside again because clearly something exciting is happening in the garden. Next week is my final week of work before I take my Christmas holidays. The week after, I'll hopefully be in Denmark. So I'm hoping to get a few clips of like Danish yarn shops and what I get up to. And then I will be flying home the week after to spend Christmas with my partner and Fayla, which is really, really exciting. So hopefully I'll get to show you some of that too. The final part will hopefully be I'm really keen to show you what I've knitted this year, so not all of them will be these kind of vlog styles, so that you don't get tired of just watching Fayla, who's a maniac. So anyway, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Bye.